Happy Columbus Day, Houston. Also, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. And, of course, since we are Catholic here, we can totally have both. My name is Tim Mott. You're listening to the Catholic Lunch Break here on AM 1430. This is where we catch up on everything Catholic in Houston, the 1 hour out of the week where we stop broadcasting the national programs and we just focus on local stuff here in our wonderful city, in our wonderful Catholic community. And I've got a full house today, lots of great guests to talk to. It's going to be a very pro-life show because there are things happening in Houston right now, even after Roe v. Wade has been overturned. As a matter of fact, especially after Roe v. Wade has been overturned, that the struggle, the battle, the fight is just beginning. And this is like the starting gun has gone off, and now we are really, really going to be into it. So you're going to want to stick around for this show because there are things coming up that you need to be aware of. And we have been broadcasting from places all over Houston, so we're going to be catching up on a lot of those events that have been happening. David Magallanes, have you recovered from the weekend yet?
Not yet, but I'm getting close. David
Magallanes running the board today, the wonderful producer of my show. Thank you so much for your help, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Do I ever tell you enough that I appreciate your work?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You do. You
I'm glad. I just want to be sure that you're aware of that.
You want to see the log?
Yeah. You're keeping track.
Yeah, I keep track now.
Another person I'm really appreciative of is Carol Herrera, our super volunteer running the video today. If you want to see the video that goes along with this audio, you can go to either Facebook or YouTube or Twitter and look for GRN Online. GRN Online is our online handle there. Carol, how are you doing on this fine weekend? Fine Monday, I should say.
Yes, I'm doing great. I had a heavenly weekend. The weather was fantastic.
It really was, yeah.
It was great.
I think God is giving us a good sign that all our parish festivals are blessed. They should be doing it. And yeah, there are so many parish festivals happening, of course. So where did you go to church yesterday on your personal pilgrimage?
Well, I'll tell you what. The parish I went to, they don't have Mass during the weekend.
Really?
So I actually had to go during the week.
Oh, where was that?
Holy Cross Chapel downtown.
Of course, yes.
On Main Street.
Father Frank Vera, I think?
Vera.
Yeah.
Frank Vera. Yes, he's the chapel director. Yes. And it's a really nice, it's a quaint chapel. It's really pretty inside, and Mass starts at 11:35, and it's really for the downtown business area. Mm-hmm. But anybody can go, of course. And so it was really nice. And actually, Tim, after this weekend, it makes 95 parishes, chapels,
95.
or cathedrals, or missions that you would like to call them. Yes, that's
You're just about 2/3 of the way through the whole archdiocese. You're going to get to every single church, aren't you?
I'm going to try.
You're going to do it.
God willing, I'll be able to do it.
I love it.
God willing, yes. So it's been great.
I
Thank
love
you,
it.
Tim. And I'm glad to be back. Thank you so much.
We also have a special guest today, very special guest, the producer of the morning show, Catholic Drive Time, Adrian Fonseca. Adrian Fonseca, welcome to the afternoon.
Howdy. Praise be to God. It's good to be here.
You're not usually awake this time of day,
No,
are you?
normally I'm actually already asleep. I'm just like lying down, flat, just counting sheep. I'm like 1, 2.
It's tough being up at 3 a.m. for a live radio show every single day and still trying to have a social life, too.
It is. And that's why I just don't have one.
Well, I'm glad that you... That's one solution. That is one solution. But here at the Catholic Lunch Break, I wanted to grab you before you went for your midday nap and just ask you, what is your opinion of Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day?
Yeah, absolutely. I did a almost 2-hour-long podcast on my podcast, Catholic Conversations, on Columbus Day. I interviewed Dr. Carol Delaney, who wrote an excellent book on Christopher Columbus.
Is he a hero or a villain?
And Christopher Columbus, he is a hero. And not only is he a hero, but the First Vatican Council, they actually brought up the cause of his canonization.
No way.
And, yep, it's a true fact. And they never ended up going through with it, mostly because Vatican I kind of never got finished because of World War.
But at least he was on the table.
But he was on the docket for it. And he was a Franciscan tertiary. He died in a Franciscan habit, prayed the divine office every single day. All these calumnies against Christopher Columbus is just not true.
So where would people go besides your wonderful podcast, Catholic Conversations, to learn more about this?
I highly recommend Dr. Carol Delaney's book. She was not even Christian. She's an atheist, and if you look her up, her book on Christopher Columbus, it's Columbus and the Quest for Jerusalem.
The Quest for Jerusalem.
Lays it all out.
Okay. Well, Adrian, thank you so much for stopping by the Catholic Lunch Break, and now you can go get your much needed
Awesome.
rest.
Praise be to God. Thank you very much,
Listen
Tim.
to Catholic Drive Time, people, 6 a.m. It's worth it. Also, let's go ahead and start with our prayer like we usually do. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection, implored thy help, or sought thine intercession was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, I fly unto thee, O Virgin of Virgins, my mother. To thee do I come, before thee I stand, sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy hear and answer me. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Yes, the month of October dedicated to the Holy Rosary. If you have not prayed your rosary in a while, I highly encourage you to pick it back up and do it again. Matter of fact, the Holy Rosary Feast was on October 7th, and Holy Rosary Catholic Church had their patronal celebration a whole weekend, 7th, 8th, and 9th of October last weekend to go along with that. So one of the things that, David, you and I get to do, especially during the month of October, is to go and do broadcasts from parish festivals all over the place.
Right.
And this year, it seems like there are even more than usual happening all together on the same days.
Yeah, which is awesome. So that means, people are getting out, pastors and so are now putting these festivals together and encouraging people to come. So
yeah,
it's awesome.
It seems like that we're starting to put that pandemic behind us. I know it's still not completely done, but we're getting into a rhythm of getting how to live with COVID now, and having these parishes back in business, doing these festivals. It's a very encouraging thing to see. So
Right.
I was for the first time ever, got to go broadcast from Holy Family in Missouri City yesterday.
How was that?
It was lots and lots of fun. That church is something else, I tell you, because the people there, they have this energy about them that I don't see at a lot of parishes. Everywhere I go, people are happy. Everywhere I go, they're all faithful and devout. But at this church, they really get into each other's lives in a good way. They care about each other. They love each other, and there's like this energy that's just in the air, and you can feel it. Like, they may not be the biggest church, they may not be the most polished church, but they've got where it counts.
That's what counts.
I love Holy Family.
Yeah, so it's in the heart, right? It's in the heart.
It really is. Father Sonny came by and did a couple of interviews with me on the air. It was wonderful, and I want to thank. I always forgot the lady's name. Carla Burke. She was the one who put this together for us.
Yeah, well,
and
great.
Of course their festival chair, Letty, who came and talked with me on the air too. It was a wonderful day. They took very good care of us, and a big shout out to Clint and Liza for helping me as volunteers.
Wow, good.
You were at St. Edward's on the other side of town in spring. How did that go?
That went well. So we got our usual spot, Tim, and then they added some live music, and so that added a new dynamic to that festival. And Father Bowie came by, and he was my first interview. And
Was he part of the live music?
No, but he was watching. And
remember when we had him on this show?
Yeah,
like he sang for us like a song to Our Lady in Vietnamese.
I bet you he did later in the evening. And but he had his black cowboy hat, and that was really cool. You could see him in the crowd, and he himself was very joyful. And it just spread throughout the festival. And he was going everywhere and talking to everybody, so that was really great. We want to thank Sean for setting all this up for us.
Sean O'Driscoll, yeah, great guy, great. He works at the Archdiocese as well. So, Sean, shout out to you,
Yeah,
of course.
thank you so much, Sean.
Great job on your festival. So, upcoming broadcasts that we have, I was unfortunate that I was not able to go to Holy Rosary because that was their patronal feast day and everything.
Right.
But we can't be everywhere.
No.
We had to stretch to get to do two at the same time, and we're texting back and forth, coordinating times. Like, okay, I'm going to go now, so you have to disconnect.
I know.
It's
very
fun.
Stressful, Tim. Very stressful.
No. I think the word you're looking for is fun.
Oh, I mean fun. That's what I meant.
Fun. That's
yes.
what you meant.
Yes.
So coming up, these are just a few of the ones that we're going to be at or we are aware of. We're not going to be able to go to all of them, but if you have a parish festival that I don't mention here, please post about it in our Facebook group, GRN Houston. That's where you can see the live video for this as well. GRN Houston is the Facebook group, and you are encouraged to post there, promote your Catholic events, promote your parish, post pictures of your First Communions and that kind of thing. But really right now I want to hear about parish festivals. So if your parish is not on this list, then let us know. So Christ the Good Shepherd, this coming Saturday, that's also in the spring area. We're going to be broadcasting from there.
Right.
And then St. Lawrence the next day. So 2 in 1 weekend, St. Lawrence on the other side of town, South Sugarland. Great parish there. We're going to be doing another, I think, a first-time broadcast from St. Lawrence.
That's going to be fun.
On the same day, St. Monica, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to get there to St. Monica because we'll be at St. Lawrence. It's the first time or so. We've done several broadcasts from St. Monica's in Acres Homes, and that's a great place as well. St. Joseph, you just told me St. Joseph is on the same day, right?
Saturday, October 15th.
Okay, so that's coming up this Saturday, St. Joseph downtown, or near Northside, I should say. We're not going to be able to be there, but that sounds like a good one.
It does. They have a great time, and so Father Victor knows how to do a festival.
You said there's going to be some live music there?
A lot of live music all day.
So it's like a concert festival.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Right,
St.
right.
Joseph, that's coming up this Saturday. So then the following weekend, on October 22nd, the Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart, their festival, and I believe we interviewed Father Jeff about that.
Correct.
So that's going to be the Cor ad Cor Festival downtown. That will be the one to get to because the Co-Cathedral is your cathedral if you are in the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston.
Do you know if that's their first time? I don't know.
No, I don't think it's their first, but it may be their first in a while.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, you'll definitely want to check that one out. October 22nd, next weekend, not this weekend, but the next weekend at the Co-Cathedral downtown. The next day, October 23rd, St. Paul's in Nassau Bay. Do you know if we have a broadcast on that one or not?
I do not. I need to check with Mike Silva.
I saw it on my calendar, but it had a question mark, so I'm not sure if we're going to be there. But the festival will be there, so
Yes.
St. Paul's is going to be great. The following weekend, I'm going to take a break for All Saints weekend, Halloween and everything. My kids are really looking forward to that, and so I've got to have at least one weekend off, right?
Right.
We sacrifice a lot for you, and I want you to come out. But it's not over yet because in November, St. Charles Borromeo on November 6th, our good radio ambassador, Mary Jean Kent, set that up
that's awesome.
with St. Charles Borromeo, their new pastor, Father Jesus Lizalde.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
looking forward to that, and if that broadcast goes down, then that'll be another first, I think. I
Yeah.
don't think I've broadcast from St. Charles Borromeo before. So this is a year of firsts. I'm really excited about it.
I am too. So come and support your communities, your parishes, your festivals. It's always a great thing, and we love doing those.
Okay, so I mean, before I take up too much time with this, I want to be sure we get a sports report in. Are you
Yeah.
covering cross country, man?
No, but you have an update on that, right?
Maybe. But my son's in cross country, but he's only in 5th grade, so it's not the high school sports report. I was just curious.
I think they're starting to run in the winter. So not yet.
Well, give me a high school update for our Catholic high school sports report.
I will do that. So, hey, Dave the Sports Guy here, rolling out your Catholic high school sports report for the Houston area. So let's start with boys football. St. Thomas Eagles rolled past Central Buttons.
Nice.
Straight Jesuit Fighting Crusaders lost a close one to Dawson Eagles. St. Pius X Panthers defeated Concordia Crusaders. St. John the 23rd Lions lost to Second Baptist Eagles. Frassati Falcons lost to Northside Lions. And O'Connell Buccaneers lost to St. Joseph Eagles. And now for girls volleyball. St. Agnes Tigers lost to Antonian Prep Apaches. St. John the 23rd Lions defeated Kelly Bulldogs. St. Pius X Panthers lost to Antonian Prep Apaches. Frassati Falcons lost to Fort Bend Eagles. And O'Connell Buccaneers lost to St. Joseph Eagles. And that's a wrap of this week's high school sports report for the week of October 3rd. Keep your radio tuned to AM 1430 for next week's recap of Houston's Catholic sports. And now back to you, Tim.
Okay, before we get into our first interview, I have to give a huge thank you to everyone at our Fishers of Men Gala last Tuesday. It was an awesome gala dinner that supports this radio station. So I want to thank, first of all, the table sponsors, especially our Guadalupe level sponsor from the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham, and of course the Scanlon Foundation, who not just donated, but also provided a ton of support throughout the entire planning process. And included in that is the great committee that we have. I want to shout out Larry, Taffy, Colleen, Blake, Laura, Candace, Fran, Melissa, the other Melissa, Randy, Clint, and Liza, who all made this happen, and several other people that I couldn't get on this list right here. But also, I want to thank those who donated items for the silent auction, which was quite a success, I think, especially the Hotel Granduca. That was one of the hot items there, along with Amalfi Ristorante, which has helped us out several times in the past. Amalfi is great. Our honored clergy guest who attended that night and really made it a very holy, I think, event, just having so many priests, callers, religious in the room. We had Cardinal DiNardo. He was our speaker. Father Richard McNeely received the award. Father that Huang presented the award since we were kind of doing it on vocations this year.
Right.
Our previous vocations director giving it to the current vocations director.
Right,
Both
yeah.
of them did such great work.
Cool.
Cardinal spoke about the Eucharist while we were eating. It was wonderful. All of the other priests and religious who graced us with their attendance. I got to sit next to Father Mark Hebert, and I come to find out we have a lot in common. He
Really?
plays trombone. He loves Tolkien. I mean,
Whoa.
we're both nerds. And also I want to thank everyone who worked the event, especially Joe McLean, our MC. Everyone give Joe a big hand. He's in the other office. I don't know if he can hear us or not. And the awesome volunteers, including you, Carol. You were there. Thank you so much. Flowers by Faye Marshall, Katie Printers, who helped us with printing. The event planner, Soraya Culp, who gave us great consultation and work.
Yes.
The staff of the Lakeside Country Club, who did a great job. And my boss, who has provided invaluable guidance throughout the whole process, who is formerly the second most popular man in San Antonio.
Who's popular now?
Well, the bishop, of course.
Oh, the bishop. Yeah.
So formerly he was the second most popular. Now he's the third most popular because my colleague Sean Rice is now the second. Anyway, Richard Reyna, thank you so much for your help. So that was a great event. We'll do it again next year, and this time I really want to get a good jump on it. I want to start that planning process even sooner. I feel like COVID still kind of took out a couple months of our planning this time, and we were still a little unsure. And it all came together very well, but we can do even better. And if you want to get involved in being like on that committee, maybe networking or helping with the event planning, or if you'd like to be a volunteer next year and just work on that event, send me an email. You can find my contact information on our website, grnonline.com. grnonline.com, and just look for my contact information right there on the front. Let me know you're interested, and I'll put you in the loop. So that'll do it for our first segment right now. When we come back, we're going to be talking with a Houston area composer, great Catholic man, who has composed a new Requiem for the Unborn. If you don't know what a Requiem is, stick around here on the Catholic Lunch Break on AM 1430 KSHJ.
Southeast Houston Cardiology is a proud sponsor of your Catholic radio station, and the doctor is in. Southeast Houston Cardiology has been serving patients with heart disease and vascular disease with up-to-date, compassionate, and comprehensive care for more than 20 years. Southeast Houston Cardiology has 2 locations, Webster and Pasadena. You can contact them online at southeasthoustancardiology.com or 281-338-4004.
Hello, I'm Father Victor, pastor of St. Joseph.
I'm Chris Florian, Fall Festival Chairman.
We want to invite you to St. Joseph's Fall Festival, October 15th, noon to 10 p.m. on Kane Street.
The festival includes live music with a variety of bands, food, carnival games, dance lessons, raffle, and silent auction.
All proceeds will go toward restoring our church's masonry and interior painting.
The theme of the festival is Love One Another as I Have Loved You.
Come to St. Joseph, October 15th, noon to 10 p.m. St. Joseph,
Pray for us.
Hi, I'm Joel Matthews, business owner and partner with TRO CPA. I'm a proud sponsor of this Guadalupe Radio Network station, and I think you should be too. As Catholics, I believe we should put our money where our faith is. And as a CPA, I help small business owners make wise decisions about their money every day. You can find out more about what I do and why I sponsor KSHJ by going to my website, trocpa.com. That's trocpa.com.
To our young adults, have you ever received a rosary at the finish line of a fun run? Well, now's your chance. St. Justin Martyr Catholic Church is sponsoring the Rosary Fun Run 2022, and it will be held on October 15th. For only $25, you will have the opportunity to receive snacks, drinks, prizes, and a rosary at the finish line. For more information, go to sjmtx.org and click on Ministries and Young Adults.
You're listening to the Catholic Lunch Break on AM 1430, where we catch up on everything Catholic in Houston, highlighting especially those stories that maybe you haven't heard of. Don't forget, Holy League for Men is coming up this Wednesday, Annunciation Catholic Church downtown, 5:30 a.m. Spiritual kick in the pants for you guys out there. Evensong at Our Lady of Walsingham is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So if you are not coming to one of the parish festivals this weekend, Sunday at 4 p.m. in Spring Branch area at the Cathedral of Our Lady of Walsingham, I highly, highly recommend that. The choral evensong in the Anglican tradition, which is actually Catholic now because of the Ordinariate, and the Holy Name Passionist Retreat Center Gala this Saturday. Support our Holy Name Passionists. Well, I think Father Cedric's due to come back next month, right? Or no, this week. He'll be coming in soon.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, the Holy Name Passionist Gala this Saturday. But right now, I want to talk pro-life and music with Chris Bearer, who is a Catholic composer here in Houston. Chris, welcome to the Catholic Lunch Break.
Hi, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, when I got your request through our website about some publicity, I was like, no, this needs more than just a PSA. This needs a full conversation. I want to talk to you because you have written a brand new Requiem for the Unborn. Just to hold our listeners' attention, what is a Requiem, real fast?
Well, liturgically speaking, it's basically a mass for the dead. It's the funeral rite.
So with Archbishop Fiorenza recently passing, people might be familiar with that. If they watch the live stream at the Co-Cathedral of his funeral, that's a Requiem.
For sure. I didn't get to see that, but that was probably said in English also. So the Requiem is, of course, Latin, and it's based in the old rite, the old Latin rite of the Mass. So it's those texts that are set in this concert setting.
Excellent. And so there's a long tradition of actually putting great music behind those words from our liturgy. So let's get to know you a little bit for the audience, paint a picture of kind of who you are. So you're currently the music director at St. Thomas More, right?
That's right.
How long you been there?
I've been there. Actually, I started the year of COVID in 2020, right during the whole shutdown and everything.
Great time to have a transition,
It
right?
was really awkward, yes.
So it feels like today's your first day, right?
Basically, yes.
Basically. Finally, put that behind us. Okay. But Father Clark Sample is a pastor there?
That's correct.
Yeah. What's it like being at St. Thomas More? What's the community like?
Oh, I love it. It's great. Father Clark is great to work with. The people there are wonderful. They sing really well in the liturgies. They're very open to great music and good sacred music in the liturgies. It's just a great place to be.
Nice.
And very supportive of these musical endeavors that we're undertaking, as a matter of fact.
So it's a good place for you to be, actually.
Yes.
Get to expand your interest there as well. Are you originally from Houston?
I am not originally from Houston. I'm originally from Oklahoma.
Okay, great. Wait. No. The out-of-staters here. I came from the West Coast, so you're in good company. Oklahoma's not nearly as far as Oregon.
No, not for sure.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right, David. You behave. So, Chris, what's your family like? You married? Do you have kids?
I am married. I've been married for 22 years. We have 4 children. Our oldest is now an actual adult, so that's kind of interesting.
Wow, another new thing for you. Okay.
Yeah. And then our youngest is in 3rd grade, 8 years old.
Bit of a spread there.
We have a big spread.
That's great. So you're going to be in the game for the long haul. How did you get into music originally?
I've always really loved music. I went to college wanting to be a choir teacher, and that worked out for about 4 or 5 years, and decided I didn't want to teach in the public schools anymore.
Yeah.
So I did go to UT, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So
well, there you go. That makes up for the Oklahoma, apparently. Okay.
Yeah.
David's the UT guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're from Oklahoma.
Okay.
You went to UT. Wow.
So, but just have always loved music, and it's great to be able to pursue it as an actual career and do something that I love.
Yeah.
And in the church, especially now, I was actually working part-time as a music director while teaching, and decided I would much rather do the church music full-time.
Yeah.
And it just has happened that way now.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Did you grow up Catholic?
Yes.
Okay, very cool.
Cradle Catholic.
Cradle Catholic. And when did you feel that call to work in the church with music? Yeah.
It was really, I guess, while I was probably in school, because in my studies, I always found it odd that we were studying the history of music, and it always started, well, past the Greeks, of course.
Yeah.
It started in the church, where sort of Western music developed and grew out of there. And so we're listening to all these old chants and old mass settings and the polyphony, and I'm like, why am I not hearing this as a Catholic in church today? And
why did we change this?
Why did we change this? So I learned more about Catholic music, true Catholic music, in my secular studies at university, rather than growing up as a Catholic. So I'm like, we need to change this. And it's just sort of called to bring this music.
And here you are changing it. As a matter of fact, I was reading your bio on Requiem for the Unborn .org.
.org.
Yeah, .org. And it said that you had a radio show in College Station.
That's right.
Where you talked about the liturgy and music.
We did that. I had a
I love it.
1 hour long, 1 week program every week. I'd go into the studio and we would talk Catholic sacred music and play examples and have call-in questions and all sorts of fun stuff.
Wow, well, we're going to have to... Is there an archive I can go listen to?
There probably is. I have to get in touch with the radio station there in College Station.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's excellent. And we're going to have to talk shop afterwards, too. But now tell me about this current project. It's called Requiem for the Unborn. And so it's a setting of the Mass, the Requiem Mass?
It is a setting for the Mass. So, and I'm not comparing myself to the great composers like Mozart and...
But that's where you draw your inspiration from.
Of course. And you find that they have everyone's heard of the Mozart Requiem and other settings of the Requiem. So it's basically that you take the texts from the liturgy, from the Mass, and you use them in a different setting, in a concert setting. And that's sort of what I've done. So the piece I've written is not meant for an actual liturgy to be sung for a Mass. It's a concert setting of the text.
Yes, and that's quite common with classical composers.
For sure.
They'll take their inspiration from the liturgy, but then use it in a performance setting.
Yes.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What is the kind of artistic vision for this piece? Since it's about the unborn, how did it come about, and what are you hoping that this will achieve?
Well, I've actually been sketching ideas for a Requiem Mass that I've been wanting to compose for several decades now, believe it or not. And I've write a few notes and then put it aside for years maybe. And then I was, last year I was looking at the calendar and realized that the 50th anniversary of Roe versus Wade was coming up next year, which is why I settled on the performance date of this piece for January of next year.
So you actually kind of settled on the date before you composed it, or?
Yes, like I said, I had sketches of various bits and pieces, nothing complete at all. And then when I realized this 50th anniversary was coming up, I'm like, well, this is the perfect opportunity. It gives me a purpose for this Requiem.
And a deadline, too.
It wasn't a Requiem for the Unborn, per se, before. It was just a Requiem. And so thinking of this and this event coming up,
that ties in because the unborn, normally that's a good thing. Like if you're unborn and we're looking forward to your birth, but when we have abortion being so prevalent in our society and held up as a virtue and a good thing by so many in our culture, then unborn becomes actually a very dangerous thing. Like if you're unborn, you're vulnerable.
Yes,
you could be terminated. You could be killed legally, and so that's how it kind of tied in there with the Requiem. And now you're thinking of this piece as a mournful piece for the unborn?
It starts off mournful in a sense of despair, but at the end now is this joyful, triumphant attainment of heaven. This is where we're praying that these souls have gone to. So most settings of the Requiem do seem to end on a very quiet, somber note, but I didn't do that here. I've ended on a very uplifting, joyful.
What's the last movement of the Requiem?
The last movement is the In Paradisum.
In Paradisum.
Text, which is let the angels receive these souls into paradise.
Into paradise. Okay.
So those words is this, they've reached paradise. That we pray that they have.
I mean, in some sense, someone who killed for no cause could be considered a martyr. So then, the unborn can't exactly die for the faith, but in some sense, there, God's got these souls in His hand, and and they're going to be in the place where God needs them to be.
Yes, and I think that we just to be able to honor them and bring awareness out into the community of Catholic stance on these issues outside of normal Catholic circles. So this is, concert type of event, community event.
Yeah. What does it take to put together a premiere like this? This is the world premiere of a brand new Requiem is typically a large scale work. A lot of musicians, right?
It is. The piece, it is now finally mostly complete in that it has all the movements are in place. I mean, I may go back and tweak a few things, but 6 months ago it was nowhere near finished. So setting this date and having it for the Unborn really gave me the impetus to finish the work, which has been great.
As an artist, that's very important to have those
procrastinator.
deadlines because you can constantly be polishing and never stop. But now do you have people on board with with
so
singers?
like you said, it does take a lot of work. The plan is to hire an orchestra, and I'm trying to gather singers from all over the Archdiocese and any other pro-life people, Catholic or not, that would want to come sing. I've got 36 singers on my list right now.
Well, you've come to the right place because this station is so pro-life. As a matter of fact, coming up later in the show, we have our Pro-Life in Houston segment, networking with the Cool Group and 40 Days for Life and Houston Coalition. So stick around. You're going to meet some good people here.
Well, great. Yeah, so if anyone is interested in singing for this event, there's still time to register to be in the choir at Requiem for the Unborn.
Now, do they have to be like a trained singer, or is this
They
the
don't
kind
have
of
to be
thing?
a trained singer. It would help if they already are a singer and say they're parish choir or have singing experience, because we're not going to spend a lot of time learning how to sing.
Yeah.
It's very limited, very quick and fast paced to get this.
But if someone's like not sure if they could keep up, could they try out? Maybe?
Absolutely.
Okay, so therefore, if you have any experience singing at all, or you're any interest at all, at least reach out to Chris here and figure out if you can get involved in this. I don't want to take too much time because we do have a great segment coming up after this. But I wanted to ask, since you conceived this piece before Roe v. Wade, you conceived it for the 50th anniversary of Roe v. Wade in 2023, but the Supreme Court has granted us a wonderful gift in that in the 49th year of Roe v. Wade, they have overturned it, and now it is no longer the prevailing political it's not abortion is no longer protected under the Supreme Court's ruling. And so how does that change your premiere here? Is this more celebratory then?
Yeah, I don't think it changes it too much because sadly they're still happening.
Right.
Abortions are still happening.
Yeah, we're going to get into that with Teresa, of course.
And you look at all the babies since and the dawn of time, really, that have been aborted. That I still want to honor them in some way and pray that have been received into paradise.
So this is not just for those who have been lost during this regime of American abortion, but also for those throughout history.
Yeah, and you could even look at it as just babies specifically who have died from abortion was the concept, but any baby that has died in the womb,
like
from
a miscarriage,
you could still look at it for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's heartrending when we lose such a precious innocent soul like that, but. This is one way that we can honor them, and as you said, end with a triumphant note, because God's grace, God's salvation overrules all. If people want to learn more, where can they go?
They can find us at requiemfortheunborn.org. Also on Facebook, we have a page there. I do post demos of the music up there from time to time. They're so you
can kind of hear what
electronic.
It sounds like.
Yes, not actual people singing it yet. I'm not that far along.
Sure.
Computer generated, yeah. But gives you an idea. And it does take funding sadly, to bring these on. So people can donate.
So if people can't sing or they don't want to sing.
They can certainly help us out
They can still help, okay.
By donating to help produce the musicians that are needed and all the other costs associated with doing these types of concerts.
Well, this will be a great boost for the pro-life community here in Houston. So I thank you so much, Chris, for joining us today. Again, the website is requiemfortheunborn.org. The composer is Chris Bearer, who people can reach out to you at St. Thomas More as well.
They can, or they can email me through the website, requiemfortheunborn.org.
Requiemfortheunborn.org. Oh, what is the date, of course?
The date is January 27th of 2023.
So coming up, we're in the last quarter here, so January 27th is right around the corner. Let's get this thing going.
For sure.
Okay, thank you very much. You're listening to the Catholic Lunch Break on AM 1430, where we catch up on everything Catholic in Houston. And coming up next on our Pro-Life in Houston segment, high schoolers. Yes, high schoolers of the Cool Group and the March of the Surviving Youth, a big event that happens every year. How is it going to be different post-Roe? So stick around, and you're listening to AM 1430 on the Guadalupe Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Claudia Garza. I am an insurance agent with Farmers Insurance, serving West Houston and Katy. And I am a proud sponsor of this Guadalupe Radio Network station. Catholic radio is truly food for my soul. I sponsor 1430 AM because I want to help evangelize. You can reach me at my office, 780-4841, 713-780-4841.
Please save the date for Christ the Good Shepherd's Fall Festival on Saturday, October 15th. Hi, this is Brenda, Committee Chair for the Fall Festival, and I'm looking for volunteers, sponsors, and both live and silent auction items for this fun-filled family event. Come support this North Houston community and have a great time. For more information, go to our parish website, cgsccdogh.org, or call the office at 281-376-6831.
KSHJ is sponsored by the Knights of Columbus Rangel Agency. For over 130 years, the primary mission of the Knights of Columbus has been to provide financial security to their members and their families, offering life insurance, long-term care insurance, disability income insurance, and annuity products. The Knights of Columbus are your shield for life. To learn more, find your agent, or discuss agent career opportunities in the Southeast Texas area, please contact General Agent Tony Rangel at 281-931-9100.
Hi, I'm Father Van Fleet, pastor of Regina Chaley Parish. I'm excited to announce that our annual Fall Festival will be held on Saturday, October 22nd from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come join us for some food, live music, wagon rides, shopping, games, raffle, and much more. All proceeds will go to support capital projects at Regina Chaley Parish. We're situated on 40 sprawling acres in the heart of Houston at 8121 Breen Drive. For more information, go to our website, reginachiliparish.org, and we hope to see you there.
Hey, this is the Catholic Lunch Break. Thank you for taking part of your lunch break to join us and catch up on everything Catholic in Houston. My name is Tim Mott. I'm the general manager of this radio station, so I get to meet everyone and go all over the place, promoting the station, fundraising, and talking to you and listening to you as well. We want to hear from you. Please post about your parish events, your Catholic happenings, and everything in our Facebook group, grnonline.com. Sorry, no, that's our website, grnonline.com. The Facebook group is GRN Houston. So on Facebook, search for GRN Houston and go ahead and post your stuff there, especially Parish Festivals right now. We're going to be broadcasting from Christ the Good Shepherd and St. Lawrence this weekend, but there are so many more happening that we can't even get to, so we need your help. Put some good pictures in there. Don't forget Holy League for Men this Wednesday, 5:30 a.m. at Annunciation Catholic Church. The Chorus Angelorum Evensong at 4 p.m. on Sunday at Our Lady of Walsingham, and the Holy Name Passionist Retreat Center Gala this Saturday at 11:15 is the date. I don't know what time it is. It's probably in the evening. Right now, I want to do our Pro-Life in Houston segment. David, we still don't have a sound effect for that, do we? We got to get like a baby's laughing or something. You know, Pro-Life in Houston segment.
I'm on it.
Teresa, that sounds pretty good right there. Maybe you could do the sound effect for us.
I don't think I sound like a baby laughing. No, I
No.
think we're gonna have to get
But
something
it's
cuter
joyful.
than that.
It's joyful. That's the most important. Teresa Ensley, the campaign strategist for 40 Days for Life, who is the host of our Pro-Life in Houston segment. Welcome back.
It's great to be here, Tim. Thank you for having me.
So, what has happened since we last talked last month about the abortion scene in Houston? What is going on?
Yes. So, fortunately, we are still seeing that Planned Parenthood is not doing abortions in Texas. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
And you know, as part of 40 Days for Life, I get a chance to hear from all the local leaders in Texas. We're not seeing any abortions being done in Texas. Praise the Lord. However, we do still need to have prayer out on the sidewalk because, unfortunately, they are still sending women to other states. And so that prayer presence is really critical. And we are seeing women turn around in other states and be returned home. And so we are getting those stories. Also, we have today the ability to see, you know, the 622 local vigils around the world. And so that's been very exciting. We've seen over 49 babies saved around the world.
So
since
when
the
you talk
beginning of
about
40
a
Days for
vigil
Life.
there, what do you mean with 40 Days for Life?
So the prayer outside of the abortion facilities continues to happen, and outside of referral centers continues to happen around the world. And so we're just very grateful for all the peaceful, prayerful participation that's happening out on the sidewalk. And today, actually, actually, we've brought in a group that does come out and pray outside of the Houston Planned Parenthood once a month. This is a teen group that began back in 2007, and they have done a phenomenal job of just networking and growing the pro-life movement from the youth perspective, because we know our youth have such a powerful impact. It's amazing having been out there leading a campaign, like looking at the people coming out of the abortion facility and how they respond to the youth.
Yeah, okay.
And so it's great. We're ecstatic to have them.
Can you go ahead and introduce our guest for us?
Yes, so today we have the Catholic Organization of Life, aka the Cool, and here representing the Cool are Felicity, the president.
Hi, Felicity.
We have Cormac, one of the board chairmen, and then we also have Adriana, who is in charge of the committee, or at least on the committee of MOTSI. And we also have joining them one of the parents who's in charge, helping to guide them, because we don't expect these teens to know everything right out the box, you know? So we have one of the people who stands alongside them and trains them, and that is Catherine Tully.
Hi, Catherine Tully. Hi.
Howdy.
Hey, good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
You're a great volunteer here at the station, so I see your face all the time. I love it.
We love Catholic radio, and we love pro-life, and we love teens.
Well, this is not the only place you're involved. We've got some great. I can't call you kids. You know, it's just a habit. I've got kids myself, but teens here. So Felicity, would you tell us a little bit about the Cool, since you are the president there? What is a brief introduction for what your organization does?
Yeah, so the Catholic Organization of Life, or the Cool, is a pro-life youth group for ages 13 to 18 in the Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston. So every month on the fourth Saturday, we have a meeting. So we start at 10:30 a.m. at Planned Parenthood, and we pray 4 rosaries for the unborn.
4 rosaries?
4 rosaries
out
there.
Wow.
Yes, it's great. And then we head over to noon mass at Holy Rosary Catholic Church, and afterwards we have a little meeting. We give updates on our events that's coming up, and we all just kind of hang out and eat pizza. It's really fun. So yeah.
Saving babies and having fun.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
And y'all have a big event coming up. Adriana, would you like to tell us about that event that's coming up in 2 weekends, right? The 22nd?
Yes, we have our MOTSI, March of the Surviving Youth, on October 22nd this year. This is a local pro-life march for people of all ages, from 0 to 101. You can come with your whole
no
family.
102-year-olds.
No, sorry.
Okay.
I'm sure they would be welcome if they can make it.
So you can bring the whole family. We start at the Catholic Charismatic Center with Mass at 8:30 a.m. And after the Holy Mass, we have a hot dog brunch. And following that, we have a talk by this year's speaker, Gabriel Castillo.
Oh, wonderful.
And after that, we head over, we walk and march towards Planned Parenthood, and we do what we call a Jericho March around the facility,
Now,
or the driveway.
why do you call it a Jericho March?
We march 7 times around the driveway while praying the rosary, and we do some hymns, we sing. After the rosary, we usually do some prayers like the Litany of Lasts, composed by Father David Michael Moses. And after that, we usually head back to the Charismatic Center, and you're free to hang out if you want, or you can go back home.
So how many people usually show up for this?
Last year we had around 500 to 600 people, I think.
500?
Yes.
That is quite, that's got to be very impressive, going around the abortion facility there in a circle with 500 teens and others as well. That's incredible.
Yes, we have a huge amount of people. People bring flags, statues of the Virgin. Some people were spraying holy water around. It was very nice, very beautiful.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I want to back up a little bit to Roe v. Wade again, because I kind of feel like maybe some of our listeners still haven't really internalized what this means. So tell me if this is accurate, Teresa. I think I found a good way to sum it up. When Roe v. Wade is overturned, what that means is now it's possible to make abortion illegal. And in Texas, we've done that. But in other states around the country, it's not illegal. And we still haven't changed all of the hearts and minds yet, because even though abortion is illegal in Texas right now, people still want it. And people are still seeking it because they feel like they need it.
Yeah, so I was talking with someone the other day, and the point is, abortion is not illegal throughout the United States. That would be great for the lives to be protected
Right.
from the moment of conception.
But what Roe v. Wade did was
but
it set
did-
up a wall around abortion and said you can't make it illegal.
Right.
But now
and
we
so
can.
Now it's possible for states to make
Yeah.
it totally illegal. And so in Texas, it is totally illegal to have an abortion. In fact, abortionists cannot even mail an abortion pill out of state to a Texas woman. Otherwise, they can be extradited from their state and then given a felony.
So when Roe v. Wade came down, imagine the walls of Jericho falling down. Now abortion is vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can actually attack it, and so we have to keep pressing forward. This is really kind of how the fight begins, right?
Well, and it is a spiritual warfare in the sense of the best way to address it is first and foremost through prayer. And that's
Mhm.
one of the beautiful things about seeing these teens go out there. I've been outside of a Motzi event so many times, and just watching all of the teens take that moment near the end, and everyone kneels, and seeing all those teenagers very deliberately praying for an end to abortion. It's so powerful. It gives me, goosebumps just thinking about it every time. Because the thing is, everyone knows that teens don't just wake up and do this. Like, they are taking the time out of their day because they really believe in this. Cormac, can you tell me a little bit about how many people y'all are expecting and how many other types of events are done throughout the year?
So for this year's Motzi, we're expecting 800 people to show up.
800.
Even more. Okay. So I was going to ask, like, if Roe v. Wade being overturned actually might, you think people might pack up and go home and say, hey, we won. Okay. But no, they understand. They understand they're coming out even more.
It's all the more important to be doing this after Roe v. Wade because it really depends on, it depends on the people of Texas and Houston to make sure that abortion stays illegal.
And that the demand for it is gone. That mothers who feel like this is their only option now realize there are other options. And you're called the March of the Surviving Youth. Can you talk a little about that name? What does surviving youth mean?
So it's for people who were born after 1972, the date of Roe v. Wade's declaring abortion to be legal. And if you were born after that date, you were a survivor of abortion. And our march kind of serves it as a testament to those who have not made it.
So every one of you out there is actually a survivor. And so you're showing forth the grace of God in protecting you from that. So 800 people. What are your plans going to be for this? How are you going to accommodate 800 people?
We have to cook 800 hot dogs. So,
And y'all have some help from someone, right? Y'all have a group that's sponsoring that?
yeah, so we have one of the local Knights of Columbus councils. They'll be helping us out with that. And they always come every year, and it's really helpful to have them there.
Okay, so Felicity, what grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year in high school.
You're a senior, and Cormac, you're a senior as well?
Yes.
Okay, and what about you, Adriana? Are you senior?
Yes. I'm
Okay,
also
so we have 3 seniors here. How many of these Motzis have y'all been to? Felicity?
This is going to be my 4th one. Yeah.
4th Motzi. Okay, same for Cormac, same for you?
This would be my 2nd helping out and my 3rd to participate.
Okay, and what about you, Adriana?
This is my 2nd.
Okay, so your 2nd one. So, okay, Felicity, you seem to have the most experience with these events. What has been your biggest takeaway from the past? Like, what is the thing that sticks with you? I know Teresa said it was that moment when everyone's kneeling at the end and you have 500 people like praying and calling out to God. What is it that you take away from this?
Okay. I guess a variety of things. Definitely when you see them all kneeling down, that's just amazing to see, like, so many people my age, so many young people who are really just so passionate about the pro-life movement. And then being in Mass together is also amazing. Like, seeing them all in the Charismatic Center in one place, and they're all there for Jesus. They're all receiving the Eucharist together for the unborn babies, just really being, like, united in that way. As Catholics, like, Catholic pro-life teens here for the unborn, it's really amazing.
Do you feel like you actually make a difference? Like, you're not just a teenager who's helpless watching things happen, but you're there making a difference?
Exactly. Yes. 100%. Like, it's amazing because when people see teens, I know this, like, when they see teens that really care about something like that, they're just really a lot of times like, whoa, that's amazing. Because, like, teenagers a lot of times, like, they aren't as concerned with, like, adult type things or whatever. But no, we care about this. We are going to end abortion. This is the pro-life
How did you start to care about that? When did this become an issue that you wanted to be participating in? Was it something your parents helped you with, or was it something you saw on the news, or your friends maybe? How did it come to be so important to you?
A couple different things, I would say. So definitely my parents were a big part of it. I grew up Catholic my entire life. And yeah, they definitely stressed the value of unborn life, of human life at all stages to me. We've been to like the Father David Michael Moses concert since I was very young. I think since they started, I was at the first concert for life.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was really an amazing experience. Just like seeing everybody there, seeing Father David, that was really great. And
that was
just
before he was Father David.
Oh,
That
right.
was when he was
Deacon
still a
David,
seminary.
yeah. I think seminarian.
I think he was a seminarian at
Yeah.
that point. Yeah. But he's still doing it as a priest. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he inspired me a lot. And even just going to the Motzies, before I even knew about the Cool, I went to the Motzies, and I would have never guessed that I would be the president of it one day if you asked me, like 11-year-old me at Motzi. And I was just so inspired, like the videos that we showed at Motzi, or that they showed, and like the talks and everything, and just seeing everybody there. It was just really a great experience, and it made me want to change things. And also just like, seeing videos and like of women who have had abortions is something that really struck me as well.
So this event itself is one of the things that really made abortion an issue for you, like that you really wanted to dedicate time and effort to.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like since I was really young, I've been coming to these, and it like.
And here you get to pay it forward now, especially this landmark year, first post row. So Cormac, tell me the same question. Like, when did you first really become interested in fighting abortion?
It's been an issue of mine for quite a while. I grew up going to a lot of the 40 Days for Life vigils with my mom because I was homeschooled, and it was 11 o'clock in the middle of the day, and we're going to Planned Parenthood to pray a rosary.
Did you understand at that age what was going on, like why you were praying a rosary at that point in that place?
Yeah, I was about probably 10 or so I had enough knowledge to understand the gravity of what was happening.
Okay, yeah. What about you, Adriana? When did you really become committed to this issue?
I guess as soon as I knew what abortion was, thanks to my parents, of course, I was always wanting to do something more, wishing I could help or do something instead of kind of standing on the sides hoping the grown-ups would do it. Thanks to my friend Anna, actually, who was the president last year. She has been involved in the Cool for many years, and she told me about the Cool. And
okay, so you're getting it from your friends, and
yes.
so we're talking about parents and the event, but your friends as well, so side to side.
Yes, which really helps with you're not in it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to make the big decisions and stand up on your own. Because that can be kind of scary.
It is, like when you feel like you're trying to fight something by yourself. It's overwhelming and you feel powerless. But when you have a group and you're part of a movement, that makes a difference, right?
Yes. So she invited me to a Cool meeting, and I loved it. It was amazing. So many young people. You really grow the community. You meet new friends, and there's really just kind of a solemnity, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
When you play the rosary with a whole bunch of other teens, and that really inspired me to say, I can do more. Thanks to this group, I could do the Motzi, I could help go to DC in January. We'll probably go this year.
We're going, yeah.
I do more with the pro-life movement as a young person.
Oh, I love it. I do want to get the parents' perspective as well, Catherine. So maybe you could tell me from the parents' perspective, what is it like to see an organization like this that's really run and motivated and driven by the students themselves, the teenagers themselves?
It's outstanding. It is absolutely outstanding. And I have to say, regarding adults, James Pinedo was the adult sponsor, and his children plus some other teens were the ones who founded it. They came to him and said, Dad, we want to have, there's nothing out there. We want to be pro-life. We want to be Catholic, and we want to do something. Just what you hear these young people, their sentiments. So they started it back in what you said, 2007. So all of those young people have grown up and gone out into the world, married, kids, working. And to see these teenagers right now organizing this Matzi, which is a huge event.
Yeah, even
and
bigger.
they're coordinating with Julie Fritsch Dumoulin at the Archdiocese. So we have, there's layers of this, and it's at the Charismatic Center, which is a massive, massive church. And they're gracious enough to host it every year, which is wonderful. But to see these teens, it's not just like they're planning a party. There's T-shirt design, there's approval processes, there's finances, there's fundraising, there's expectations and networking, getting out the word and promoting and publication.
How much do they rely on you? Do they constantly come to you for advice and help, or are you really just letting them go?
So no, Adriana's the chairperson for the Matzi committee, and they meet once a week, and they go over their topics and who's doing what. And I have to share, this is not just for teens. So this Matzi event, as an adult, I met other adults last year who fly into Houston because they've gone to Matzi for years, and now they're living in Dallas, or they're living out in San Antonio. They come to Houston for the Matzi. I met the Legions of Mary. I met Catholic Daughters. I met all these different nights. A lot of prayer groups bring their people to come and pray on this day. So, and of course, in this post-Roe, it's not just praying for an end of abortion, but it's the gratitude we have to God for all the beautiful things that have happened. So I just encourage all of Houston to come.
You sound
all
very
the prayer
proud.
groups to come. I'm so proud. And these young people, the 3 you see here, plus all the other ones, because there's a whole board, there's a whole leadership team, there's lots of service, and there's social events. So they're phenomenal.
That's great.
So how do they sign up? How do people, if they want to get involved, how do they find out more details?
Yeah, so you can go to thecoolyouthgroup.com/Matzi if you want to look at Matzi, or just thecoolyouthgroup.com. You can sign up for our email list on there, on the contact page, and you'll get all of the updates about our events and everything. We send out emails letting people know what's going on. So yeah, it's really easy. And you can also sign up to volunteer for Matzi, I believe, on the website, which we need a lot of volunteers. So anything you can do to help would be great.
Yeah, just extra pair of hands, really, just to help. Yeah, a lot of people to wrangle those 800. So thecoolyouthgroup.com. You got to keep the word "the" in there.
Yes.
Thecoolyouthgroup.com/Matzi, and Matzi is March of the Surviving Youth. So great acronyms there, Matzi.
And then y'all also have a whole bunch of other activities that you do throughout the year. I know, Adriana, you mentioned going to D.C. I understand from talking to Catherine before the show began, to Mrs. Tully before the show began, that y'all are also going to Austin. So how many youth are going to be able to go to D.C., and how far in advance do y'all generally start fundraising for that?
Sorry.
She gives you the hard questions.
We try to fundraise as far in advance as possible. Usually in the second half of the year, we usually take about 30 or so youth to DC and a few chaperones. And yeah, we have bake sales as often as we can.
That's a life-changing thing.
Yes, and that also allows for parishioners to get involved. So if you don't have the cool group involved in your parish, invite them to come. Invite them to get involved and encourage your youth to also get involved.
You're just going to reinvigorate your own parish. Well, Felicity and Cormac and Adriana and Catherine and, of course, Teresa Ensley, thank you so much for this Pro-Life in Houston segment.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
So that does it for another Catholic Lunch Break. We're done for this Monday, but we're going to be back again next Monday with more Catholic Lunch Break. And right now, stay tuned for Dr. David Anders coming up on Call to Communion. The best place to get your questions answered about the Catholic faith. He's really, really smart. Matter of fact, I was at the festival yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday at Holy Family. And in between my broadcast, I had one of the sedevacantists come up to me and try to convince me that I was in the wrong church. I told him to call Catholic Answers and Call to Communion. So that is the program that you're going to be listening to next here on this station. When we come back next week for this show, we'll be talking to Father Jeff Boehm about the Co-Cathedral Festival, Angie Pimetto about the Proclaim Conference. And until then, stay Catholic, Houston. God bless you.